So, Fly and Vibe is here. I'm hyped. We know Jick's gonna be hyped too. It's gonna be definitely a different kind of presentation today. We're gonna talk about fun things. We're gonna get inside our little creator minds here. And overall, it's gonna be a really good time. So, and we are doing viewer questions as well. Well, we'll open that up for later. If you're in my Discord, there is a section for that. I'm gonna pull from there first, and then we're going to go from chat from there. So, I had to get my questions loaded up, because, you know, good interviewers and shit. Hello, Aiden. How you doing? Julie, how are you? Chris, my man, how are you? Sparkle, you're lovely. But let's not waste any time. We're gonna get over to the screen. Don't mind Spotify being on his face for a second. I forgot it was there. So let me put on some Pokemon remixes, because we are both in the Pokemon directory, so. And we have Jick here.
Howdy, how's it going?
I'm well,
All right.
man. How are you?
Good.
Yeah. Don't mind that I had, you know, Spotify on your face first.
Yeah, that's just quite all right. Don't worry. The more Spotify up, the better.
Yeah, because I had some, I got a whole ass playlist of Pokemon remixes that I use.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And chat, let me know how everything is sounding audio-wise.
Yeah, I can adjust some stuff, turn myself up and everything too. Yeah.
Because I know I can be a little overbearing sometimes.
No.
But nah, man, like, professional streamer, by the way. Of course.
Hey, we do our best. And
Julie, thank you for the host, by the way.
Hey,
All right,
yeah, hey,
so
bro, who's Jick? I'm
Jick
louder.
Is louder than me? Alright. Spotify, go away. We need Jick's face.
No. You know Sparkle. Blurry nonsense, best nonsense. This is the same rule.
Something like that. And also, we're going to start off a little bit of story time because
All right.
during the Shiny Triathlon a while back, you had told me a nickname a gas station attendant told you.
Yes, of course. The classic story.
I grabbed Mountain Dew specifically for this purpose.
Did you? Oh, I'm looking right now. Ooh, is that the live wire?
It
Which
is
one
Code
is
Red.
Oh, it's code red. Okay, it looks orange to me.
Yeah.
Got it. That's a good choice.
But
Way
yes.
better.
So if you could kindly explain to some that because I know the story, but some of them don't.
Right.
How did you become Dr.
Basically an unhealthy addiction to soda, but that's the dark way to look at it.
Huh.
No, I used to go to the same gas station right by my place every day to grab Mountain Dew before stream. So I would always go in, you know, I worked like manual labor stuff. So at first I maybe thought it was a little antagonistic, but you'd always call me Doctor, and then it transformed to Dr. Dew, and I love the alliteration. So it kind of just stuck from there, even though at this point I'm more like anti-Dew.
Right.
Sadly.
And speaking on alliteration, because I noticed you use a lot of alliteration in your streams.
Oh, it's my favorite.
How did that kind of become the thing? Which will lead into the next question. What led you into making content on Twitch?
Okay, so first off, alliteration. I don't know. I guess it was just, I think it's really fun. I don't listen to a ton of hip hop, but usually with those lines that are really fast or catchy, you know, that tends to be a thing too.
Oh, so some Busta Rhymes type shit.
Yeah,
Like,
sort of. Yeah, I mean, it makes it flow. It has a nice flow. I'm not saying I enjoy Busta Rhymes, but it has a nice flow to it. And it allows me to come up with silly and creative ones, which is a big thing and a big reason, again, tying into the next question, that I wanted to get into this was, well, one, a love of Pokemon and no one to talk to about it, but two, creating in general, like being creative. So I don't get as many opportunities to do that, but it's things like the Wii Balance Board event or the Gym Leader Challenge theme that we did, a shiny to represent every gym leader.
Right.
Those are all things I love thinking about.
Right. Speaking of the Wii Balance Board, if you were in Jick's Discord, you've seen this in random pictures today, but I'm going to show the chat
please do.
Because I'm actually proud of this meme.
I am. I'm a little disappointed in myself. During the Let's Go days, we made one that was based on the Master Ball versus Premier Ball debate.
Right.
Because I always wanted to catch him in a Premier Ball.
Right.
And so it was my face, like a happy face with a Premier Ball, sad face with Master Ball, but I can't find the pictures.
Right.
I was gonna recreate, piggyback, I guess.
So above Jick's logo is the meme we created. Yeah, you were just about there.
Sort of. I tried.
But Wii Balance Board? Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Right. Like,
a little harder than the 3DS, but worth it.
Now, you have a Wii Balance Board based event coming up this weekend. Gas yourself
right.
up. Talk about it, man.
I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, basically, I think, again, tooting my own horn's not my thing, but I think for the first time ever, we're actually going to connect a Wii Balance Board to the Switch and Shiny Hunt in it. So
Right.
I'm pretty darn excited. It's going to be silly. I have a lot of things to do this evening still. We have channel point stuff that you can redeem for nonsense. So yeah, it should be a great time.
And hopefully all those redeems are very quirky, is the most nonsensical of all natures.
Well, most of them, yes.
Right. Okay, cameras, stop being a fucking asshole. Thank you. Anyway, which leads in, because you did this with the 3DS before.
Right.
Kind of how the setup had to be for that. And you did get shinies with it, yes?
Yeah, oh yeah, we ended up getting 2 or 3 from the Friend Safari and then a couple from the wormholes as well.
Oh, right on. Well, I can only imagine trying to balance board through a wormhole.
Honestly, way more fun. Like, Friend Safari is neat, but it was basically just back and forth. The wormhole really got to show off what you could do with it. It was really
Right.
fun. And what was I going to say, though? The setup, right, excuse me. Basically, so with the 3DS, it requires custom firmware.
Ooh.
It's basically the Wii Balance Board, or a Wiimote in general, is sending the information to my PC over Bluetooth. And then the 3DS has a program to read that. The
Right.
Switch, I had to do that with an external adapter.
Oh.
So, yeah, I had to get an adapter, but essentially it sends the input to my PC, and then the PC reads, sends it back to the Switch in this case.
Right on. That's actually really cool.
Yeah,
Which
I think it's pretty.
Is, going off of that, though, because I also have, specific to you questions on here.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll get to those in a little bit. But with the whole Wii Balance Board, epic knee reveal at 5 gifted subs, Kappa?
I mean, it's funny that you bring that up because I was like messing with the camera even before this for the balance board. And if I wear shorts, you might get a knee reveal.
Yes, knee reveal.
That may just happen.
This is the
based on
content we
angle,
need,
so.
chat. This is
This
the
may just
content we
happen.
need.
And I don't want it to happen, but I don't know how I can get through that without wearing shorts.
Right.
Too hot.
Alright. I mean, shit. I could probably do it because, I could probably stand to lose a little bit of the chub, but...
Not me too.
A knee veal? I see you. Because Nintendo didn't release it. Nintendo
Sadly.
didn't include 20-year-old technology in a device released in 2017.
Sadly, I wish they did.
Right.
Makes sense though, of course. One of the next things I just found out is you can get the Ring Fit stuff without the game.
Is that
You can order the replacements. Oh, you found it? Okay.
Drop it in my meme section on Discord, and I can put it on.
Yeah, I
stream
wanted
right
to
away.
find the original and recreate it with a balance board picture and a Pro Controller picture.
Right.
But I think the picture is me using Joy-Cons in it, so it defeats the purpose.
Right. Oh, I gotta love those Joy-Cons. Anyway, so if we go back, because when making your stream, going back to the making content thing, is I always like knowing the stories of what people led you to where you're at.
Right.
Because mine similarly to go off of that.
Okay.
I actually have a whole ass Tumblr post about it and going off in full detail. But the music died for me for a while, creative outlet, hobby, and then it became something. So it's always kind of cool to see where you come from and your background before you get here.
You lost a bet, Julie.
I
So I don't know. I mean, one of the big things was I never finished, but started and was always interested, wanted to continue in a broadcasting radio program at one
Okay.
point. So in general,
I could
like, you know,
definitely see you being on radio.
yeah, I take that as a compliment at least. Yeah, like that plus gaming and Pokemon especially is what led to it. And then people who would you be like curious and specifically like other creators who maybe I was interested in?
Right.
Right. That's a
I actually
good one.
do have Twitch inspirations on here. So
Really? Okay.
Perfect lead in, my man. Perfect lead in.
Okay. Well, I think one of the first ones was Shady.
Ah, yes. The Shady Penguin. I love that guy.
I watched a lot of. I watched some LP stuff, but largely it was competitive. So, seeing him play competitive, and like those early leagues, even what UBL, WBE,
Yeah,
that stuff
like
got me into a few of
GBA
those
and all
people.
that.
Yeah, yep, that got me into a few of those people. I started watching a lot of Poke-Aim as well.
Yeah. Like, similarly, mine started with like JYT Gamer in that
Yep.
area. Then,
yeah, he was all in that group too, right?
That one guy nobody cares about anymore because he's a douchebag. Yeah, we're just
Never
gonna
cared
forget
for
that
him,
guy
but
exists. And then
I
it
did a
kind of
long
just
time.
rolled from there because I dabbled a little bit while I was. And fun fact, my ex-fiance actually had like a logo graphic made up for me, but since I rebranded a couple of times since then. But
Yep.
this was like I started dabbling while I was still in Nocturne Angel. If we look right there.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So, those were good times. I was actually rolling through the music from that the other day. Kind of nice nostalgia trip.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That was great. Oh, and there is one viewer question that was put in before your guestship was confirmed that I do want to cover. Because, oh snap! Natural's gifting out subs. Let's go.
Natural. Oh my goodness. All the love. Ooh, some great Spike Society members in there too.
Right. Oh, lots of people. We'll get to all that in just a second. Now, this was posted before I announced that you were the first guest. If you were reborn into the Pokemon world, what would you do?
If I was reborn into the Pokemon world, actually, that's a pretty good question. Sorry, I can't say that I know the answer, but one thing I've definitely said before was a breeder. I think one thing I'd like to do is be the person who like breeds the starters for the professor.
Cool.
For the professor. I don't know. I don't think I enjoy competitive, but I don't have that edge or that drive. So I don't think I would be like a trainer who goes after badges or the Elite Four. I would probably enjoy those matches as a spectator.
Right. I
so yeah, I think I
would love to do like just being a gym leader in general.
Oh right.
Like I feel that'd be really cool.
Yeah, the responsibility of that. Yeah, there's a lot to it.
Yeah. Just to see what would your gym be? What would be your puzzle? What teams would you use?
Focusing on a specialty. That's pretty cool.
But yeah. Yeah, I feel like that would be breeding the starters would be a cool job, I feel.
Yeah, I mean breeder in general, but that's one that stuck out to me specifically, I guess.
Because I always wondered, where does he get these starters from?
Right? There's
like,
somebody.
where are you just plucking this Bulbasaur from, bro?
I mean, I guess they imply the professor breeds them in some way, but that's definitely never been shown, right?
Right, and especially because until later, magic tricks. I mean, I like it.
I guess so. Also, hey Neo.
And for everyone coming in, hello, how are you guys? We are doing Fly and Vibe here with JickNonsense today. He's a lovely guy. And fun little story before I get into the next question.
Yep.
Because I'm assuming these guys would love to know, but the how we met story.
Right.
I remember this very clear as day. So, a girl by the name of, who at the time was under the username Lady Foxy, who now goes under like Decay or Fidget or something. She's changed her username so many times I lose track. She just like hits me up, be like, "Hey, I changed my name again." All right, cool. Anyway, She hits me up. This was a little over 2 years ago now at this point.
Yep.
And then she's like, "Hey, I've been watching this new guy. Maybe you could give him a little bit of love." And he's like, he knows about you and Max and Vander and all that. I'm like, "Oh, all right. I'm down for this. I am down." So I finished up my stream that day. We end up raiding him. And you guys should have seen the look on his face when he saw me rip through. It was kind of like the JickNo, kind of like your Pog emote.
The JickNonsense.
The JickNonsense, yes. I couldn't remember it. But it was just like, and then we just started building from there, and we've been down ever since. It was been kind of cool. But figured get the how we met story out of the way before you forget.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Because I know it, and I know I forget things all the time. Like,
oh yeah, of course.
Like I can remember I can remember a story from 2 years ago and the exact facial reaction. But what I ate for breakfast? No.
Same, notorious. Just streamer things, right?
Yeah, right. Speaking of streamer things, this is for the up-and-coming casters that might be in our chat right now. What do you think is the easiest and hardest things about being a streamer in your experience?
It's a good one. I'd love to know what people think. Before I lose the thought, it's actually funny you mentioned that. Not so much until I got onto Twitch, but in the beginning, Vander and his community in general was a pretty big influence too.
Right.
So.
Vanderforge is my guy, dude. Yeah. I got the pleasure to hang out with him at the last 2 Twitch cons, like. But when you actually meet Vander in real life, okay?
I can only imagine.
You guys see Vanderforge. When you meet him in real life, you see Jordan. Yes, he can still get hype like he always is. But he's very calm, very quiet dude in a public setting. And he's just very chill and real with you. The hardest thing for being a streamer is the whole not streaming part, Kappa.
It's true. It's unfortunate.
But yeah, easiest and hardest things about being a caster. At least from your experience.
Okay. Easiest? Oof. I don't know. I could think of some hard ones. All right, let's start with the hard. Let's start.
Let's start.
Hard would be one, at least for a lot of people, the courage to get over the anxiety to just start. Right? That's one thing I see a lot mentioned.
Stage fright, I know all about that, especially coming from the music world. Ooh.
Oh, of course. I mean, I've told this story on my stream before, but I actually did a stream like 2 years before I started.
Mm-hmm.
And just like, it went well, but it made me panic. And I waited a long time to try again. And I would always, so now I always recommend don't give in to that.
Right.
So that's a big hard one. A hard one's also, I guess, a pretty common one. Like, you know, you've heard the saying, comparison's the thief of joy. A lot of people fall into that trap.
Oh, I've done it. I've had that before too. Right.
Human nature.
Yeah. Comparison is the thief of joy, though. I like it.
Right.
I'm gonna have to use that.
I can't take credit for that. That is a saying I've heard, but.
Yeah.
And then easy. I mean, I don't know. Once you get comfortable, it becomes, at least for me, it's become incredibly easy.
Right.
I don't really think about. I do some days, obviously. I'm human, but
yeah, right.
A lot of times I'm excited. So.
Yeah, that like I had just similarly, like the stage fright thing leading into once you get over that particular hurdle. Like for me, when we did the Flywood St. Jude not too long ago, which by the way, y'all killed that.
Yeah, you did great. That was awesome.
Props to you guys. Y'all killed that. But I was like stressing and nervous and like just like, oh God, how's this gonna happen? It took some gassing up from a couple of friends of mine just to get me out of. It's like once you get over the hitting the go live button hurdle, I feel it just kind of smooths out from there.
Yeah.
So.
Right, we all have our days, but it does overall become a lot easier.
But yeah, definitely initial stage fright is probably the hardest thing. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna talk about a little bit of game stuff here.
Ooh, okay.
And my boy Lambo Lotto with the host, thank you.
Hey. Oh, it happens. Right? We all do it sometimes.
So, what games are you looking forward to coming out? Because I know I'm a huge proponent for Cyberpunk 2077.
Okay, that looks
I
pretty
want
good.
that. I need that in my life. Like,
looks
I
good.
fell in love with it at E3, and it was just, yes. What are some games you're looking forward to, man?
I'll be honest with you. I don't look forward to many things that excuse me. I don't look forward to many things that are outside of the Nintendo sphere. So, thankfully, I guess the Switch has a lot of indie games, and I've
Right.
been able to play those. But, I mean, I got Paper Mario and played for about an hour. That's already out, but that's when I want to play.
Right.
I don't know if there's anything super. I mean, SMT5, we recently got news on in the mini direct. I know people were upset that's all the news, but I love the SMT series. So 2021 SMT5.
Right. Like,
It's really
and
the
I'm
only
with
thing.
Julie on this one for Overwatch 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Ooh. Shin
Yeah,
Megami
Mr.
Tensei 5.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. That's my big one right now, and that's in a year probably.
Right.
So
Oh, the story mode. Yeah, I would love to have an actual, like, deep dive into the lore of Overwatch.
Right.
Like, there's
Which is
so much to it.
yeah, that's something that Blizzard in general is really good at.
Yeah.
Building universes and lore. If you look
Yeah.
at how Warcraft and then World of Warcraft did it.
Yeah. I always thought about trying World of Warcraft, but I don't want to get... Because that shit can get hella addicting, is my
Oh,
understanding.
from what I understand, yeah.
Alright.
I never really played it. I played like Warcraft 3,
Mm-hmm.
but never played World of Warcraft.
Yeah. Like, I thought about getting Classic WoW, but just to try it out, give it a run, see what's up.
Right.
And this was actually asked in my mod section while creating questions. Opinions on the next-gen consoles?
You know, okay. I might. Okay, for opinion on the next gen consoles first. I'm not too excited by either. PS5 would be the big one for me. It's the one that is, if we're looking at the PS4, I've missed out on a lot of exclusives I might want to play. Horizon Zero Dawn, which is now on PC, are coming soon
Yeah,
to
and
PC,
Detroit
but-
Become Human just recently.
Yeah,
came to
yeah. There's a
PC
lot
as
of
well.
them. There's a lot of the, a lot of those I would like to play, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't see myself getting them. I would probably anytime soon.
Right. Like, I'm all on board for the PS5 for a
Right,
couple
that's
of
the
reasons.
big one, yeah.
One, I want to do the digital one because my
Oh,
my
the
history,
discless one,
yeah,
right?
my history with actual physical copies is like I played through them, take them through to GameStop, flip them for new ones, and then I want to play that one game I already flipped a few months later. It's like, oh, well, I don't have it anymore. So,
See, some people like
and
that
I
option.
want to get like a little Eye of Sauron to put on top of the PS5.
You're right. Yeah,
Just
it is
because I'm a huge
interesting.
Lord of the Rings nerd, so
Wait, you think the Xbox will stomp next gen, Mr. Ambassador? I haven't looked into too much, but I know the stats side by side are essentially similar. The PS5
Yeah,
may be a little
I-
better,
yeah, I did see like the similarities.
unless
between
it's
the two.
games coming out, which
Back
that
to
I don't know.
GameStop we go. Pretty much, Lambo. Pretty much.
I didn't see the Xbox Direct. I know everyone's kind of hyped on Halo, whatever
Yeah,
it's
Halo
called
Infinite?
right now, but yeah, Infinite. Yeah,
It
yeah.
looks
so maybe
good from
that'll
what I've
yeah,
seen of
maybe
it.
that will stomp everything. I don't know. Oh, Persona, yeah, P5 is another great example of a
Yeah.
game I wish I could have played but haven't.
Yeah, I've got it. I've just never put it in my system yet. My PlayStation's actually on the other side of the room right now because it's my WWE network machine, I like to call it.
Okay.
Pay-per-views and random stuff.
Right, gotcha.
Now,
Here's
we-
before we move on
okay.
though. Here might be a hot take.
Ooh,
I
I like
actually-
hot takes.
I actually think that Google Stadia, if it's done well, might be the next thing.
I could see it.
Have you heard? Yeah, it's
I've
the one.
heard
It's the
little
streaming only
bit
one.
about it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Their marketing is pretty terrible. But
Yeah.
if it's done well, obviously that's the huge key. That's the key for every launch of anything.
Right.
But the fact that you can just stream, it's the Netflix for games, quote unquote. That's convenient to the average person.
Yeah, because I noticed
Who is-
that games have been leaving like Redbox and all that.
Right,
stuff,
right,
so-
yep. And I mean, paying what? It might be 800 for a PS5, or we don't know the price, but
Yeah. we don't know
600
price points.
maybe. When a Stadia could be half that, and then a monthly subscription, or a third of that in a monthly subscription. Yeah.
Right. I'm
We'll
just
have to
glad I
see.
put my like live stuff on for like the year plan, I guess PS Plus has been removed like the year. Sean, perfect. Stadia is essentially what GameFly was advertised
Yeah,
as.
that is true. That is true.
Right.
But as long as they deliver it better. Yeah, as long as they deliver it better, it should do well.
Right.
Because I think you bring up the example of Live. Look how good Xbox Game Pass is doing.
Yeah.
That's been incredible for them and a big moneymaker. So Stadia would be just a Game Pass machine, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, I do like the idea of Game Pass. I would love to see PlayStation do something similar. Just saying. But since we're talking video games and consoles, what are some of your favorite games, my man?
Ooh.
Excluding Pokemon.
Yeah. I kind of figure that's the given. Although I will say another potentially hot take because of like fond memories. Oris is probably my favorite. After
that Whalmer hunt though.
Yeah. Oris.
Oh, I mean
Oris
Staryu. I'm sorry.
But no, I call it the Whalmer hunt all the time.
Okay, cool.
But okay. Oh, maybe you do have to purchase games externally on top of a subscription. I wasn't aware of that. I thought it was all subscription.
I have seen some of Ghost of Tsushima.
The screenshots look amazing.
Right.
But okay, so a lot of my favorites are handheld. I think that's another reason why I'm not super excited or hyped for new gen consoles.
Right.
Is I've always loved like Game Boy, GBA, DS, 3DS especially. So like Golden Sun is a super underloved franchise for the Game Boy Advance and DS that I love. Mega Man Battle Network actually is legitimately one of my favorite series. Also, GBA and DS.
Okay.
I enjoy a lot of the old school 3D platformers, so like Banjo-Kazooie, Super Mario, Sunshine is a great game.
Right.
And anything in that style. Hat in Time was one of the most fun experiences I had recently.
I wanted to play a Hat in Time, but I never got around to it.
Hat in Time was one of the most fun I had with a more modern game, I'd say, quote unquote modern.
Yeah. Just like on that my end for me, it's like because outside of Pokemon, we'll get to Pokemon specifically in a little bit here. But for me, like NBA Ballers, I put so many hours into that game. It's basically just street ball with NBA players.
Yeah.
Super basic concept, but I can bounce a basketball off your head, do a funky like arcade style dunk on you. Like yes.
That reminds me of a lot of the old like SSX Tricky.
Oh yeah, like kind of like that.
Those are always fun. Where you could just do silly like out there stuff.
Yeah, like the Tony Hawk games, like
you're right. Oh, Tony Hawk
Pro Skater.
Actually, when is that remake coming out?
I know.
That's a game I'm looking forward to.
Give me the details. But,
yeah,
that's a day one play for me.
Yeah, that's the game I'm looking forward to.
Like, I remember in Need for Speed Underground.
Ooh, okay.
More specifically, Need for Speed Underground 2 and Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition.
Oh, I know Midnight Club 3 is considered one of the better like racing games ever, right?
Oh yeah, it's so good.
Held in high regard, I know.
I actually made a like this. You could call this cringe or whatnot or whatever you want. We all know my love of the band Avenged Sevenfold is very well documented.
Right.
You know, chest tattoo for them. Which, by the way, if you ever get a chest tattoo, be prepared for on the bone there. Ooh, it's brutal. But the rest of it wasn't bad. Midnight Club 3 was dope. We made like a whole Sevenfold themed car. It was based on, I think we used the Lexus IS300 for it.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. But I always also liked Midnight Club 3 and Need for Speed Underground 2 because you can use like trucks and SUVs and such.
Okay.
Imagine like a chromed out Hummer racing a Lexus. Like, what?
That sounds pretty fun.
Just the funky combinations you could come up with it.
Right. I couldn't tell you the name of the game, but I used to play this one racing game and intentionally do like out there insane crashes and then watch from the first person mode just to see the screen tumble around. I think I've told that story once. You know the iconic someone might know the name of the road, but the long hilly road in LA with the you see the trolleys going across.
Yeah.
Or San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was one of those, and I would just like take the first jump at a 90-degree angle and roll down the hill and watch it.
Right.
It's a weird.
Sounds like some serious Jackass type shit right there.
Kind of.
I still found it funny that Jackass actually made a game.
Wait, did they?
Yeah. It was for PlayStation 2. Like, you just yeet yourself across things, and you get points for how badly you eat it. So,
yeah.
Here, I'm gonna get to. This sounds like Driver.
Oh,
Tony Hawk remakes are September the 3rd.
Oh, nice. I've never played Driver though.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I have no idea.
One that I'm sure you get this question a lot, and I think we might have talked about it before. The origin of your username.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's a million answers, and they're all real and all true. The Grand Wizard Council does exist.
Yes.
No, essentially it's just, I mean, the long story short is I love nonsense, and Jick is like a meme from IRL stuff, so it kind of just worked.
Okay. All right, because mine actually started from music, believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
I was doing a pop punk band at the time, kind of like your All Time Lows, Mayday Parade, all that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
I was playing guitar on that one, and we ended up settling on the name The Long Way Home as a reference to the song The Sharp Hint of New Tears from Dashboard Confessional.
I'll be honest though, that's a great name for a pop punk band.
Right? I thought so. So
I could see that.
Right? And one of the names that was on the list was a thing called Aerial Love Affair. This is about to get a little mature, chat, so... Because Aerial Love Affair was based off of the concept called the Mile High Club. Anyone over the age of 18 will know what the Mile High Club is. I will let you figure it out from there, because terms of service. I saw that, Mr. Knox.
Yeah.
Hey, it's just a little quirky thing. Bringing up your stream memes in here. Alright. And one of these... That was awkward. I bet it was, Julie. So, and since we do shiny hunting every so often, you and I, one more than the other, what are some of your favorite shiny hunts today?
Ooh. Okay, this is a good one. Or they're all good ones, but this is a good one because it's hard. The big reason I think if I were to pick a favorite shiny hunt, a lot of it comes down to not so much the shiny itself, but like the journey to get there. Yeah, Neo, pretty much the number one guess right now.
The floating Eldegoss one?
Yeah, that's one of my favorites because it was super unique and it was early in Sword and Shield.
Right.
Yeah, of course, like you mentioned, the Staryu Whalmer, the
God.
the Scyther generated our Scyther Bless emote, so those are a few that stick out as favorites.
Because I remember that Whalmer Staryu thing. That was just a whole ass anime arc in and of itself.
That was like...
What was it? 48 Whalmer to Staryu?
44.
Okay, so I went 4.
But yeah, you were really close still though.
Like,
but
I swear that took you like 3 months to do.
Yeah, that was... I mean, we took some breaks on occasional days, but that was like the whole beginning arc of my streaming, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Staryu hunting.
One of my personal favorites that just recently ended... Alolan Marowak.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that one's good too.
Like, what did that go? Ended up like what?
20,000 something.
So
it was
five
over
times over odds.
Yeah.
Like that's insane, dude. Imagine ending recent hunts.
The worst, or I think the best part is, I want to go and do the same odds Marowak trades in Sword and Shield now that you can in the Isle of Armor.
Is it confirmed that you can?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh snap!
The traders are a little weird. They're super random and touchy, but you can trade with them for shinies. Yep.
Yeah, if they stay in the same spot.
right, which they don't often do.
Right, like.
Ooh,
speaking of anime arc, the 3-egg Duraludon. Ooh.
Yeah, in general, a lot of the GLC ones were great because they were themed. So.
Right. And you do a lot of theme hunts, like with your gym leader challenges and the Stunfisk support shiny badge quest.
Yep.
What went into creating that concept? Because when I seen you debut, and I'm like, what's this?
I don't know. That is a really good one. I think Galarian Stunfisk was one of the most shocking Galarian forms.
I'd have to agree.
I went in blind to
As did I.
Sword and Shield, so I didn't know. When I first saw it, it really took me by surprise. It didn't seem to get a lot of love from anyone else.
Right.
I thought I don't know. Yeah, I wish I had a better answer. But basically, I saw that the ability was cool but underused.
Right.
Terrain moves got way more options this generation.
Yeah,
and
they
it kind of
definitely
clicked.
did.
Yeah, I originally planned to just do a pretty standard SPQ of Sword,
Right.
but
And then
one
it
day-
just centered it around a Stunfisk, like.
one day more alliteration again too.
Oh, right. You and your alliteration, man. It's all
Yeah.
good. But back to the favorite hunts to date. Like, mine would still be the Ho-Oh arc.
That was a good one. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
god. And our Ho-Oh arc and our Groudon arc were just
I was
absolutely
gonna mention
insane.
the Groudon. Yeah.
So for those that didn't see it, so the Groudon arc was a three-phase thing. First, I killed it off of a crit. No, it killed me. On the second one, I killed it because it had bulked up 6 times.
Yeah, I remember.
And then I used a leafage because I'm like, hey, that's a bad move. Poseidon, how you doing? That's a bad move. Let's use this crit. I didn't know it was a crit at the time. And then the people I was in the voice call with was like, dude, that was a crit. I done yeeted myself onto my bed. I actually have the full arc on my YouTube channel somewhere, I believe.
There you go.
But
Yeah, there's not much you can do.
and then
when
the
it comes to-
third time, I was just like, nope, master ball in your ass, like getting here,
I love.
That's
Everyone
good.
misses the most obvious guess. It's the funniest part about that. Neil.
Right. Alright. Yeah. Where
But
did
yeah,
your...
those were some great ones.
Yeah, there were some great hunts in there. And if you ever want to see more, if you are not already doing so, which if you're not, I'm thoroughly disappointed, and you need to go correct this error right now, go follow Jick if you haven't.
Yeah, he's all right.
Alright, that guy's pretty cool. I don't know, that slick guy might show up every
Oh
once in a
yeah,
while.
you gotta be careful. You gotta
Oh,
be careful.
speaking of that, how did you come to do the whole slick nonsense thing? Like,
Goodness.
because I noticed when you bring it in, like, there's like major pro wrestling vibes here of of kayfabing the character. But
I guess so. I never really thought of it like that. Because I know, of course, you like wrestling, so that's an interesting take on it, or like a perspective I never saw.
and it's like,
I watched a little when I was younger. I don't know, maybe that's sort of influenced, but
yeah,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what started it. I just thought it would be. I don't know. I'm just always thinking if that isn't.
because I
apparent.
think didn't you do it on like a Pokemon Day once, or something like that?
Oh, the first. No, I don't think the. Maybe.
I
Maybe the first one was timed around that.
Yeah,
You're right. It wasn't a February. It was right about there.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the first time they took over, of course, I didn't
Alright.
do it.
Yeah. That kayfabe. I like it.
I didn't do anything.
We kayfabing over here, chat. But nah, yeah, I thought it was a cool concept when you brought it up. So it was like kind of just felt like a fun thing to do, kind of thing. Huh?
Yeah, basically. I don't know. I wish I had better reasons. I just kind of think of things that I don't know, or sort of unique, but I would also find fun. And that seemed like one of them, getting to be, I don't know, rough around the edges, but
Right. Get to be the
to a
heel.
degree.
I get it.
To a degree. You're
Yeah,
right.
get to be the bad guy, be the heel for a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. So one that I put on your viewer specific, but also got put into my viewer asking questions. Where did the love of Spoink start?
Ooh. Okay. That one pretty much just came. Okay, so I've always liked pigs. I don't
Mhm.
think I talk about that not that much.
I
but
don't think you've
I-
ever talked about that. Or at
Yeah,
least not with
yeah.
me anyway.
No, I don't think I bring it up that often. Offhand when explaining the Spoink thing, but yeah, for the most part, I don't know why.
Jick
I
gets a
always
pet
did.
pig at 3,000 follows, Kappa?
Oh my goodness. What was I gonna say?
You were talking about your love of pigs.
Yeah. That was about it, really. I just got like, I don't know. At some point, I had maybe a stuffed animal or two of them, and
Mm-hmm.
a teacup pig. Oh my goodness.
Right.
Yeah, and so basically, and I always like psychic types when it came to Pokemon too. So once I played through Gen 3, the two of them combined, Grumpig was super cool looking to me.
Right.
It never really did great, but yeah, it really was just two of my favorite things combined in one Mon, and then history wrote itself.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing with me and my boy Umbreon, as we all know. Like, as soon as I see him, I'm like, mine. That's mine now.
Right.
Which even led to, I can't really give you a good vision, but there's the tad of it. He's paired with Light Yagami from Death Note, by the way.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that. But for everyone else.
Yes. But it's always cool to see kind of like where the tastes lie and how your favorite Pokemon come to be. Like, whether it be through using them or just be like, with me and Umbreon specifically, it was just day one, like, mine.
Love at first sight.
Day one, mine.
Yeah. I got like, I don't know. I mean, it's still not my favorite, but I feel like I've had some Mons like that. Steelix at the time. First time I saw it, though, it was really cool.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah. Now, since we're on the topic of Pokemon, we all know I started with OG Gen 1 because, you know, my hairline's closer to 40 than I am now. But what was your first game, my man?
It was also, it was red.
Oh, nice.
It was red. I feel like I didn't really know what I was doing or grasp things until later gens.
Yeah. Like, I had a solid understanding of it. But then Gold and Silver came around and I absolutely loved those. And then I kind of fell out of Pokemon for a while. I didn't know Gen 3 was a thing.
See,
until Gen 4 happened.
Gen 3 isn't very high up on my list, but it's actually like, I think one of the, I don't want to say fondest memories, but it's one of like the core games for me.
Right. Like,
a lot of things changed then. I remember it fondly.
Yeah, like Gen 3 is not my, like, it's common knowledge. Gen 3 is my least favorite. Like, I just don't have an attachment to Gen 3. I've tried.
That's fair.
We did just run through Emerald recently with the Mr. Mime runs.
Right.
Oh, Pidgey's got a good one. First ever shiny.
Gen 3 again.
It was also Gen 3 for me.
Yeah. I got my first one was playing through Emerald. Yeah, it was a random shiny electric.
Yeah, mine was a random shiny Tentacool. Obviously, we're not counting the red Gyarados here.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just leave that for the OGs Amons. We don't count red Gyarados. Well, Gen 1 and 2 are your favorites? Right on, man.
I like Johto as a region.
Yeah.
Like Heart Gold, Soul Silver,
I feel like
Gen 4.
the lore of Johto. Yeah. And then you noticed in Heart Gold, Soul Silver with the like Arceus event that's in that game, they tried to blend the Gen 4 lore and the Gen 2 lore, and it's just like, yes! Yeah. Charmander or Cyndaquil? Oh.
Cyndaquil. Gen 2. Yeah. Chikorita's the best starter, though.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I ended up getting 3 shiny Chikoritas recently in Go.
Really?
Yeah.
I got one. I think it was my first shiny in Go. Maybe that or the Beldum, actually. But yeah, it was when I only have the one, but I love it. That's
right. Like because I don't go out and play Go as
I don't usually
as hardcore as I used to. Like, I actually would play with Lambo and Chef. Him and his lady, we'd all go out, do raids and shit. It was a good time. But I'll sometimes check. I'll pull off random Go checks. Entei or Moltres. Oh, dude.
Entei again.
Entei all day. Mostly because I can pet him and hug him and not start on fire.
Now, if you were to ask me Suicune versus Articuno, that one's maybe different.
Oh, I am so ready.
I gotta go with Articuno there.
I am so ready for Galar Kuno, though.
Oh, yeah,
So
definitely.
ready. We used to have so much fun, bro. Yeah, dude. Like, we'll have to meet up for an old run. But, like, the Galar birds, like, I didn't know that, like, where did they have these designs in their pocket, man?
I don't know.
Like, oh my
I'm
god,
glad-
those are great.
I guess I'm glad they used them on legendaries though.
Right,
I
right.
guess. I mean, I'm okay with. I don't know. They would have been cool with regular Pokemon.
I know you're of the same camp. Galarian Zapdos is a chocobo. Don't at me.
Definitely. I said it before. I'll say it again.
It is
Chocobo.
definitely a chocobo.
Chocodos.
Yes. But no,
Ooh,
it's like those designs on them are just like so elegant and so nice.
And again, I think Articuno's my favorite of the three, just like
Right.
the originals.
Yeah, like I find Articuno to be very majestic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just all like, wrestling fans are gonna get this following joke. Because you know how eccentric and flamboyant Goldust is? I can just see that with Articuno flapping its wings. You're like, I am pretty as fuck! Oh great, that's gonna get made into a GIF.
Oh boy. That's a good question too. Is anyone gonna do Go Fest stuff? I'm not.
I'm not. Well,
I mean,
I
it
thought
seems
about
fun,
it, but I just chose not to. Because I'm
Yeah,
also going to be busy this weekend. I have the twins' birthday party and whatnot, so...
Oh, right.
You know, Uncle Life is a...
Nope. Hey, Jason.
Uncle Life is kind of where it's at. So... But if you were... What would you say your top 3 Pokemon games are?
Top 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In a loose order. No, probably the right order. I'd say Heart Gold over Soul Silver, but both. If should we do it that way? Like Heart
Yeah.
Gold, Soul Silver?
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going.
Okay. I would still pick Heart Gold though, by the way.
Oh yeah, Heart Gold. Easy.
but
Mostly
yeah, Heart
because
Gold- Heart
I'd
Gold, Soul
rather
Silver.
ascend the tower than have to deal with getting Flash.
I guess so. I'm just always like Ho-Oh more, which
Yeah.
is odd based on
Oh,
my
it was another
typing
one of those
record.
majestic as fuck.
Yeah, it is. So Heart Gold, Soul Silver, then as I mentioned before, probably Oris. Like I really, I know that's a controversial one maybe, but I really do like those.
Right.
Probably personal bias, but that's okay. That's the point. And then third gets complicated, but probably actually not really. Black and White.
All right, right on.
Black and White or Black White 2. I really like Unova.
Right.
So it'd probably be
I
Heart Gold,
like
Soul
the
Silver, or it's Black White.
I like the story of Unova. Like, you know, the region, I don't particularly, it's kind of there for me, but the story makes it great.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably
Story and-
Pokemon's most well thought out story.
I would agree with that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
And I also really like. I know part of the reason they got a lot of hate was the whole Dex purge or redo or whatever. But I actually like a lot of the Gen
soft
5
reboot
mons
kind
now.
of thing they were going
Yeah. But I like a lot of those mons
Right.
still to this day. So.
for. Right, dude, I do too. Like, to give my 3 here. For me, yep, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, top of the list again. And then I'm gonna go to Platinum.
That's reasonable.
And there's a reason behind that.
At least it's not Diamond Pearl.
Yeah. So, as I mentioned earlier, I did fall out of Pokemon for a while.
Right.
Didn't know Gen 3 existed till my buddy Jason showed me Gen 4. Me and Jason are still friends to this day, by the way. Massive video game collector. I'm trying to get him to do content, but he just doesn't want it.
Yeah.
It's just a thing. So, I ended up grabbing an emulator of Diamond, and then my buddy lent me Sapphire. Played through Sapphire, meh. It was fun, but it was just meh.
Yeah.
And then I played through Diamond on the emulator. It's like I loved the region firstly.
Okay.
And then I finally ended up getting a Hamburger DS, like the OG ones, the big old thick gray bricks. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I got Platinum. Because when I seen Platinum at the store, I'm like, mine!
Giratina did it all.
Like, he just looked so badass. It was great.
It's true.
So, Platinum is the reason I am here in the Pokemon directory nowadays again. So, without Platinum, I don't know what my gamer journey would have been like, but...
I think that's part of it with Oris for me, is
Yeah.
that's like when I started watching things, getting into the overall, like, in general, online and Twitch content, whatever
Right.
you want to call it, communities.
Yeah, because I got into like the Twitch and YouTube stuff of Pokemon around the time of Black 2, White 2,
Okay.
going into X and Y.
Yeah, mine was actually just the next game's release. Like, it was the end of XY into Oris, basically.
Yeah, mine was
so.
in the end of Black 2,
Yeah.
White 2 into X and Y. But, and speaking of which, my third game, ironically enough, is X and Y. Like,
Okay.
I just absolutely love the Kalos region.
I do too.
The
I do
Mons,
too.
slick. And yeah, sure. You know, there's a lot that could be done with X and Y story. Like,
Yeah,
I still
A
don't.
Z would have been great.
Yeah, a Z version would have been awesome.
I've always thought that would have been a good choice.
Yeah, but I've gotten so much replay out of X and Y, and I do have a little funny story about X and Y. This was like 2 days after launch. My now ex-fiance was over. We were probably, because that came out in like a September, I think.
always
We were
fall.
very early in our relationship. She's upstairs just kicking it, chilling. I'm coming back up because I went to go grab us a soda. My buddy Jason, who's in the same room as me, is like, dude, is this Lacey's username and thing in Pokemon? I'm like, yes, that is. Why? We just wonder traded with each other.
Ah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it's like the randomness of Wonder Trade, getting two people in the same house.
Yeah, that is pretty funny.
That was pretty cool. But yeah, alright. So, coming out of Pokemon for a little bit, in more some IRL stuff. We all love food around here. We all
Common
love some
topic.
food. What foods do you usually get down on? And conversely, what's your favorite thing to make?
I like really, I mean, this is kind of a thing I don't want to say teased about, but in general, I like pretty simple stuff. Like, I've been called picky quite a few times. But yeah, I just like the things, I just keep it simple. Well, favorite thing to make? See, that may not be so simple, but I've been told I make really good, like Parmesan crusted pork chops.
Ooh.
That's one, yeah, that's one I make really well. What else?
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. A lot of things, it's funny. The things I make well, I wouldn't actually eat. Like, I know how to do a pretty good asparagus dish, but I don't like
Right.
asparagus.
Right. Well, like, I recently made a while back, like, Wagyu beef burgers. Like,
What is that?
basically super bougie beef.
Oh, okay.
Like, the animals have well taken care of kind of thing, fed all the right stuff, blah, 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 blah. Super bougie, but super delicious.
Guess so. Yeah, I've never even heard of it.
Like, there's, like, American Wagyu, Chinese.
Hmm.
Like, it's, like, top-of-the-line stuff. I'm not picky. Everyone else's choices are bad.
There you go, Jason.
Oh, Jason. Oh, man.
No, I think of it like that though, for real.
Mhm.
I just like the easiest simple things, so it
Right.
should be simple, not picky. That's the word.
Right on, right on, right on. And I'm very, like... I'm very lazy when it comes to my cooking most of the time. So, like, give me some ramen, some mac and cheese, and some spaghetti, and we'll be okay.
Right.
Give me some pizza, we're all right. But there's this restaurant in town called the Mine Shaft. It's one of Wisconsin's largest restaurants.
Mine chef. Interesting.
Yeah, it's all like American based, but they have like a little Italian section. It's a really cool place. That's also where I went and did karaoke. Yeah, for a while I did frequent the karaoke bar.
I
was a
think
good
we've
time.
discussed this before. Now that you mention
Yeah.
it.
There's actually a video on my PC somewhere of me doing, I think, So Cold from Breaking Benjamin. Honey, what are you
that's a good
barking
song.
at? Speaking of which, we'll get to pets later. But speaking of which, before I get too far off in my tangent here, how's the cat doing?
So she's great. I mean,
Alright,
okay,
cool.
great may be an exaggeration, but well, fine.
All right, because
Thank
I
you,
was just
guys.
like, I wonder how his. Because Honey decided to say hello,
I heard.
but they have this shrimp serrano pasta, right?
Ooh.
It's
Yeah, I
like
can
the
do
sauce is
shrimp
kind of
steak.
like an Alfredo sauce, kind of, but based
Okay.
with serrano pepper in it. It's not. It's hot, yes,
Yeah,
but
that's where you
there's
might lose
enough
me.
flavor with it. Like I don't understand. I guess Honey wants to be on the show too. Ugh.
Oh, hey, honey.
Yeah, she literally just climbed on me. This is something she likes to do.
It's our stream.
Honey is streamer now, guys.
Yep.
We actually had have a video on the YouTube channel where Honey does this exact same thing while I'm playing a match of Dead by Daylight. And I'm a mouse and
boy.
keyboard player when it comes to DVD.
Oh, right.
So, having to like WASD in a mouse with a dog on you
Sounds
is
fun.
not the easiest thing
No.
to do.
No, no.
But Honey got herself a win, that's for sure.
Hey.
Alright, Honey, you gotta get out. Thank you. But, DVD is an evil game. It is a lovely game, thank you. She
Yeah, I
did
don't
get
know
her
anything
first
about it.
DVD win, but it's like an Alfredo sauce with that's based on it's hot,
Right.
but not for being hot for the sake of heat.
Yeah.
There's enough flavor behind it. And which I don't understand, y'all. They're just be eating these hot ass peppers.
I don't know. It's just not my thing either.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's okay. I mean, a very pretty mild buffalo sauce. I can make. That's another one. Well, maybe I would eat it, but I can make a really good like buffalo cheese dip too.
Ooh, that
But yeah, it'd be like
sounds good.
it'd be like mild though.
Right. I very much like buffalo sauce and all that. I'm very much a garlic parmesan fan.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh,
There's a place that closed by me that made these Asian garlic. They were like teriyaki garlic wings. Oh,
right.
anyway.
It's like doing these hot ass peppers just for the sake of them being hot. Like, bitch, I need flavor. It's a really a Twitch stream if you don't make your viewers hungry.
It's
No.
true. They
Facts.
want food. I
Facts,
didn't. Yeah,
Julie.
I gotta take care of that at some point.
Alright. So, let me make sure I've covered everything I need to cover here. But yeah, like... Oh! We're gonna go to a little section where I want you to gas yourself up, okay?
Uh-oh. Okay.
What can viewers expect when tuning into you for the first time?
Oof. I mean, the name says it all. Nonsense.
Right.
But no, I mean, for the most part, first joining, usually pretty chill. Again, sometimes we get silly, right? But
like chill vibes, good times, right?
yeah, I'd like to think so at least. I'd like to think you'd be greeted with open arms.
Because from a long-time viewer perspective, that's what I feel whenever I go into a Jick stream. Like, it's all chill, it's laid back, it's nice. Like, I'm sure you've noticed from when me and... Anyway, Phil's Tiny Hunting Fun with a pun from Monday.
Thanks,
Neo
Neo.
hits it on the head right there. Like,
That's all I could ever hope
And if
for.
you have... For those that have seen me and Jick multi-stream before, it's like he's the calm and collected and I'm the wild and crazy. It's like a yin-yang and it's great.
Yeah. I mean, that's a balance, and it's
Yeah,
alright.
it's like we balance each other out. It's really cool. But no, Jick streams are great. They are.
Alright.
And anyone disagrees, they are incorrect.
Oof. I will have to have a talking with myself later.
Don't worry, I have that same talking with myself too. But, you know, it's just... And what other types of content do you wish to make in the future?
Oh, now that's a good one because, as I think,
Because I
keep
know
going.
Pokemon is your main thing, but maybe a possible branch out of that, or evolving the content you're already doing to be really awesome. Like,
yeah, that's a good one because I don't really know what I would do, but there's, yeah, as I think, is pretty clear at this point. I like to come up with silly ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So I have quite a few, but a lot of it's like the lack of time to put them into place.
Right.
I will admit most of them are more stream related, Pokemon related especially.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I would love to do things that are maybe a bit more scripted, or
Right.
I don't think I have the capability, but like something about like voice acting always seemed really appealing
Also,
too.
yeah, like kind of like your like the Pokemon challenges you see on YouTube, like your Madrive Reds. And,
Yeah, I suppose. I
yeah,
suppose
like
I would do.
did that just once with the Crystal synopsis on the YouTube channel. It's different
Yeah.
because when you're used to doing everything like live off the cuff, which you'll able to be telling my voiceovers that is still a little bit of that in a different presentation, but when you're doing like scripted voice acted stuff, like that shit's hard, dude. Like I remember I went to an anime convention a while back. It's called Anime Central for whoever is in the Chicagoland area. It's either the biggest or the second biggest anime convention in the Midwest. They actually have a whole voice acting tryout session on the expo floor.
Interesting.
I missed the sign up, but I watched some of these people do it, and it's like, I can only imagine.
Right? Yeah, it's not something I think I have the talent for, but I do
Right.
find interesting. Right.
Right. But,
Yeah.
but I actually just thought of this from based off of one we talked about earlier. Off of the good for radio comment earlier. If you had your own radio station, what would it be?
Ooh. See, at one point it would have definitely been more of like a rock heavy, metal heavy, even like back when I was first interested. But in general, I think the big thing I always wanted to do was put music out there that wasn't discovered.
Right. Oh,
Like,
okay.
like fine, you know what I mean? Like
I feel
I that, of course you'd play whatever, right? But
Right.
I think that would be one of my big drives, would to find things I think are good that no one else, no one else
Right.
does, and
like undiscovered gems, man.
right, exactly. Have the ability to show off indie artists, underground stuff, like like
Yeah,
right,
like there's a lot of the stuff I listen to does not get a lot of radio play, but it's still
Yeah,
big.
absolutely.
Like your all-time lows, your Black Veil Brides. A lot of that doesn't get a lot of radio play,
No,
even though Black
only on
Veil
very
recently
specific
is.
channels,
But
yeah.
like, because one of the stations I used to listen to, 94.1 JJO out of Madison. I think it was on Sundays. They had like a 2-hour show dedicated to local music.
See, yeah, that is.
So
what
I would love to
exactly-
do something
yeah.
similar to that, like
right.
maybe a couple of times a day, have like 1 2-hour block in the morning, one in the afternoon, and one at night for just local music.
Absolutely.
Because when I was doing music, I would have loved that.
Right, and that's
And
when
trying to get your stuff onto JJO at the time was like pulling teeth. So
Sure. Yeah, that was a lot of the music I am into and still am into, is like undiscovered things. I've been to quite a lot of local artist shows. So
oh,
yeah,
dude,
that's the kind of stuff I
local
would
band
like to-
shows are awesome.
Oh yeah, 7 bands for $7. You
Hell,
can't beat that.
you can't beat that value. And sometimes they're actually really good.
Oh, most of the time they're actually
Like,
really
there
good,
was a
yeah.
band that I went and seen. It was my buddy Gio, Duskwolf, if you ever seen him in my chat. Likes to tell me I lose the game a lot.
Of course.
Anyway, so he used to be in a band called The Mood Manual. I do play their stuff on stream every once in a while.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of which, we're going to play a Mood Manual song right now. Don't mind the fact that Spotify's on Jick's face again. It's like
Over
he's
the best.
DJing our stream unintentionally. Spinning records over here. Honey,
Oh,
thanks
no,
for the foot
I was
lick.
hoping that was covered.
Just barely, but we're gonna pop on a quick Mood Manual song. This one is called Feeling Symbol, for those who would like to know. It's a very Tool style rock band. Sadly, they're not together anymore, but my buddy's the drummer. But he was playing with this band called The Commuter Exit. Now, I had known of the commuter exit before, but I never actually got to watch their show at that point. It was kind of like a very indie kind of vibe, like mix of jazzy elements with like some hard rock elements, like
Right.
very
Sound bad.
like to put a I'm trying to think of the band name, like kind of like your Death Cab for Cutie kind of stuff,
Oh, okay.
Postal
Yep,
Service, that kind of record.
I got you.
And leading off of that, what are some bands you like to jam to?
Okay. I don't know. Okay, so I could give you my top 3, which
Deal.
would be like
And
Coheed
then I'll
and
follow-
Cambria.
Oh yes, Coheed.
Pretty obvious at this
Before
point.
the
if you
DMCA
know.
stuff,
Well,
anytime
yeah.
Jick would raid me, I'd always play Welcome Home.
Yeah, definitely my favorite. If you want to talk about, we talked about lore with Overwatch before. And for those who might not know, they have an entire visual novel comic book series that like all of their music is based on one big overarching sci-fi story.
Right.
So anyway, so I'm super into them. Number 2 is actually Streetlight Manifesto, which I think a lot of people.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
see,
a
I think
good one right there.
a lot of
I used to
people
be in a
probably
ska
don't know
band,
them.
and I listened to a lot
Yeah.
of them.
Oh, I went to quite a few like ska, punk ska, metal ska, whatever you want to call them,
Right.
shows.
Oh man, just the bass riffs.
Yeah.
Because at the time I was
like,
playing bass in a ska band, so kind of used Streetlight and Real Big Fish and all them to kind of get a feel for what their bass lines are.
I've seen both of them. Yeah.
I got to see Real Big Fish at Warped Tour not too long ago.
Right. Yep.
And that was a good show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
something
how
about
they
the-
can
something about the brass, I don't
incorporate
know.
like brass instruments in a rock and roll type setting.
Right.
That's just like magic right there. But anyways, so number 2 is Streetlight, obviously Coheed number 1.
And then so Coheed number 1, and then 3, I guess kind of changes a lot, but there's a super unknown artist from Minnesota, like the Minnesota, Minneapolis specifically area, called Christoph Crane, who does like some acoustic folk rock stuff, some hip hop even.
Oh,
So
okay.
kind of, and then kind of blends the two of those together.
Right. I always thought when you can blend multiple genres of music
Yeah.
together,
Yeah.
like it's either going to be a dumpster fire or the greatest thing ever.
Right.
Like,
Like, yeah, in general, there's a lot of people in that circle, I guess, like him.
yeah. There's actually a girl I've been listening to that's actually from Minneapolis as well.
They have the best music scene.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
They really
but
do. There's a girl that streams on Twitch, actually. I'm going to drop her link in the chat here. Great singer-songwriter. I got to catch her at the last 2 TwitchCons. There's a girl by the name of Megan Lenius that, oh my god, her stuff is so good. I'll play one of her songs after this one. I'm actually now going to move Spotify, so it's not in your face anymore.
Okay. Yeah, at least a couple of the people I listened to were on the same record label, a little indie label from Minnesota,
Nice.
with Lizzo before she blew up.
Oh, yes, Lizzo.
Yeah. I don't listen to a lot of her stuff, but she was one of the people in that like circle of that scene that blew up.
Alright. And going in, we got the song Allison by Megan Lenius about falling in love with a girl. She ended up coming out like 2 weeks ago, or 2 months ago, I don't remember. But anyway, back to the top 3 artists thing. We all know that I'm a huge Avenged Sevenfold fan. It's well documented, we don't gotta talk about it. Though lately, Breaking Benjamin has started to make a case for that position.
Okay. I haven't
But-
listened to their stuff in a long time.
Breaking Benjamin, number 2. And then number 3 for me is All Time Low.
Okay. Think of a lot of. I mean, I've seen them as well at a Warped, I believe it was, but
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of bands like them too.
Oh yeah, like I've
More
I
local
got
stuff.
to see All Time Low. I think like 4 times. Gio will have to correct me on that one because
Yeah, that's where I've
anytime I've
seen a lot
seen
of
All Time Low was with him. So, like, dude was just like my concert buddy. It was a great time.
Yeah.
Alright, so I gotta pull up Discord on my phone here.
Oh,
yes.
fun fact that you might find interesting.
Oh, I like
actually.
fun facts.
Since you're a wrestling fan and Breaking Benjamin, I actually discovered Breaking Benjamin through, is it Day of Reckoning?
For the GameCube? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Polyamorous was on there.
Yep, they have two
My
of them on there.
Polyamorous world.
Yeah, they have two
And I think
songs on there.
Firefly.
Yep.
Because those were
I think
also
you're right.
on SmackDown versus Raw, the original SmackDown versus Raw games.
Yeah, that was like my first introduction to them, actually.
Yeah. Like, oh man, that was good stuff. But we're gonna go over to our viewer question section. Some of these I have already on Discord because they were, because I posted up and like, hey, we got I need viewer questions, so here we are. We already covered where the Twitch name originated from. We covered falling in love with Spoink. This one from Givaldo9 asks, what made you become the type of streamer you are today?
I guess I haven't thought about that much, but what I will say is that I have been told I've gotten a lot more like comfortable in myself. So, not an easy answer. Like the whole "be yourself" thing is true, but also not what anyone wants to hear.
Right.
I mean, honestly, a lot of it was support from obviously people like you or the society, just in general. Like if I think if I tried to come up with some of my silly ideas and they completely flopped, naturally that would be demotivating, right?
Yeah, right.
So, in general, I think I'm literally here because of just support.
Right. I find it like support and also trial and error.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Like that's also a big thing with that.
Just continuously pushing, or not pushing, but like I stream almost every single day, so exactly. I feel like that's trial and error a lot. I just do random things, or I see what I find fun, basically.
All right. But yeah, solid answer there. Solid answer.
I feel like I could come up with a better one, but
you probably could, but
not right
if it
now.
comes to you, we'll I'll throw an addendum at the end of the video. By the way, this is going to YouTube later for those that are unaware. So, hi YouTube comment section. Anyway, Natural asks, outside of Twitch, what is something else you enjoy doing?
Okay. So, as I mentioned, because of being on every day, it's kind of taken over my free time. But I used to do a lot of, going to shows. So a lot of local music venues on weekends. I would do a fair amount of hiking, and geocaching was a big one.
That was starting to get big around here too.
Yeah, if you've ever heard of that, I used to do that a lot. In general, I like to, if I can, be outside. I'm outside working a lot too, right? So that scratches that itch.
My understanding is a construction job, yeah?
Yep.
I think you told me it was drywall?
Well, it's kind of all, it's anything really, anything you would remodeling. A lot of, at least recently, like kitchens and bathrooms.
Yeah. Like, I remember doing construction with my dad like 10 years ago, but he did exterior. So like siding, windows, roofing.
Yep. We did a siding, a big siding one earlier this year.
Yeah, like, they always made me the shingle carrier because I was the biggest guy on the job. So it's like, you get to carry the shingles. Why? Because you're beefy.
Yeah. Hey, it's me and a 77-year-old, so.
Oh, jeez.
I get that.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
All right. And then Black Rose Angel asks, how can you play and focus on 2 games at once?
This
is going to be common for the shiny hunters and multiple game players.
Yeah. I think that comes down to trial and error as well. And at a certain point, like semi-recently, I actually reset over a shiny, Nihilego.
No!
Yeah, I did. But I think either way, I always I try to at least. I want to get the encounters, but I always try to prioritize keeping up with the chat first. At the risk of failing or doing
Right,
things
right,
like
right.
that. So I think I guess the answer would be is I focus on the games, but it has less of my care or attention than
Right.
the community itself.
Right on, right on. But
And yeah,
like-
it often doesn't go well. So
right.
Yeah.
Like for me, when I was doing double hunting, it was more so like it was easier to do in the Let's Go cycle.
Yeah.
Because Let's Go, you just have to leave it there, occasionally glance at it, see if there's a sparkle, and you can do your things over there. But then I tried it with a sword and shield thing, and I think I was doing either SOS or Wormhole. I don't remember. But oh god, that was hard.
Yeah, a lot of it's just practice too.
Right.
Like at this point, I've been double hunting for a while mainly,
Right.
so you get used to it. But of course, there's certain ones that are easier than others. Like if I was to do wormholes and something else, that would go terribly.
Oh yeah.
That's too much focus.
Yeah, because
I
have a hard enough time with the two.
Yeah, I do sometimes. I wouldn't say choose the hunt, but maybe choose the order
Mhm.
of the hunts we do.
Right.
If it's easier to do it as a double or not,
Right, right. I'm like, and then you see people in the directory, some even on our team included, like Shiny Collector and others. But then you get
Yeah.
people like Rosaken, who's using 5 games at once.
Right, right. See, the one thing I will say there, though, is I feel like that's so much easier when you're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
If you're doing 5 of the same thing, you get that muscle memory. Your brain doesn't have to pick which controller to do what button
right.
presses. But still, I respect that. I don't know if I
Mad
could
respect.
do that
Mad respect.
I don't know if I could do that many. So
Alright, and then we got Jacob Does Stuff with a viewer question in here. And if you guys got viewer questions in chat, now is the time to drop them.
yeah.
Why are you so cool?
Jacob's too kind.
Jacob's a fucking adorable.
I'm literally. You know what's funny? I took that literally because I'm sweating right now. But oh, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to that.
Okay.
All I will, yeah. Naturally, I guess. I wish I knew the answer to that,
Right.
even though
Okay.
I don't see it that way.
And we
Does
got-
anyone like their own voice? I don't think so.
I'm actually hella insecure about mine.
Yeah.
Which is why,
I think
like,
everyone is.
Everyone knows, especially like Ash and people who have met me in IRL, know that
For-
with my music stuff, I actually hate the sound of my own voice on a recording.
Yeah, I mean, I only
I
really watch
cannot
myself when I'm
stand it,
editing.
but people
because I
keep
can't-
telling me that when I actually try, it sounds great.
Yeah, that's the thing. I bet it does. I bet it does. But it's right. We can't see it. You
Yeah.
can't see it.
All right.
Wait, you don't? That's pretty impressive, actually. Black Rose Angel.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people do. It's specifically on recordings. That was key.
Yeah.
You said that.
Yeah, like I can't stand my voice on a recording. Like,
Right.
ugh. I think it sounds like trash, but then the homies will gas me up for it. So it's like,
It's like looking in a mirror. You get
Yeah.
used to seeing yourself. You get used to hearing your voice, and it doesn't sound the same.
right,
Yeah. No. Agreed. Neo. Right.
right. I'm with you there, Neo. I'm with you there. All right, so we have one from Amaris here in my Discord section. If you could speedrun any game, what would it be?
That's a good one. That's a good one. Not that I've really thought about speedrunning, but it is something that looks fun, and
Mhm.
I think I have the patience, for lack of a better word, I guess, patience for.
Right.
Wow, I like that one. Only because I haven't really ever thought about it. I mean, the obvious answer would be a Pokemon game, right? But I think it would be really fun to try Super Mario 64. That's like
Ooh.
the classic speedrun game, right?
Right.
Just to learn some of those tricks. It's the classic speedrunner. Other than that, it would really have to be a game I like but don't love, because
Right.
in the end, I'd probably grow to dislike it
Yeah, right.
after so many runs.
Like, I feel like I could do, like, red, blue, yellow, gold, silver, crystal in a run format.
Yeah,
But speaking of which, I gotta book those onto the stream soon, because they were unlocked via Fly with St. Jude.
Ah, nice. So you're gonna try to run it?
Yeah,
Or run one
I'm
of them?
just gonna, I'm not gonna, like, look up any, like, manipulations or anything. I'm just gonna do it
Yeah.
and see how well we do.
I had no intention
Just
to, but
knowing how the game works.
yeah, no glitches or like no optimization, just to see how fast you can do. Right, I like
and
that.
it will be done on virtual consoles, so
Cool.
that way I can't speed up button cheese.
Yeah.
I love me some cheese, but not in my speedruns.
Right. I had no intention of doing it, but I actually, so maybe this would be an answer too, is I looked into the Let's Go speedrunning a lot when it was first being developed. I thought that that scene was really neat.
Yeah, I just seen, I think it was Pulse Effects and somebody else. They did a Let's Go Catch 'em All speedrun with trades. Like, that was insane to see.
Yeah, that sounds
like
long.
Just seeing how quickly they can get these games done, and where it's just like let's just take for example like Sword and Shield.
Right.
That took me 24 hours to complete, 24 in-game hours. These people are getting it done in like 6. Like, what? It's insane.
Pretty wild. Yeah, it's impressive to say the least. And I always, there's been plenty of games I've watched. I don't have an interest in the game, but it's a learning thing too. Like at a GDQ, excuse me.
And Josh, I do see your question. I'm actually going to end with that one when we get that far.
Ooh, okay.
So, we already covered that one from Sparkle. Natural also added in the Discord section. Favorite fast food chain?
Ooh. That's something I used to get a lot of, but I don't so much anymore. Wendy's. That's my answer.
I like Wendy's, but there's not one very close to me. So
okay, there's always been one close.
Taco Bell.
That was a go-to for a bit, but because I'm kind of picky, I don't really like a lot of their stuff,
And for me specifically, there was when I was living in Madison, the capital of Wisconsin, by the way.
Yeah.
Go Badgers. Anyway, there was a Taco Bell that was literally less than 5-minute walk from my house. Because I lived by one of the 4 major bus stop pickup points.
Right.
And that particular Taco Bell, at the time, knocked it out of the park every time. Nothing was ever wrong. I swear they put a little love in it because it tasted way better than Taco Bell should have.
That is a good point. It probably varies a lot from people's personal experiences at each location.
That particular Taco Bell, oh man, I loved it. But, favorite restaurant in general, since we're on that. Fast food or otherwise.
Nope, it's a good point. Wendy's does have the best Twitter. Let's be honest.
The sassy Twitter fast food.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't see all of their tweets, but it's pretty well documented. They have a great Twitter.
Right.
But no, I think honestly for Wendy's, it's the fries. Right. It's all about the fries for me when it comes to a fast food place. So.
See, I didn't care for In-N-Out when I was in California.
I've never been.
However, when I went down to Texas to visit Black Rose Angel and I have been friends for like 15 years. We used to date in high school, whole thing. A lot of IRL history there. I went down to visit her like January of 2018. I discovered that Whataburger is fucking awesome.
I've never had it.
Oh man, if you ever are in the South or come up across an area that has a Whataburger, oh yes. Oh yeah, but Julie, you also have Tim Hortons, where we don't have a lot of that down here.
Yeah, true.
I heard Tim Hortons is actually really good.
I have no idea.
I've always heard good things about a Tim Hortons. So
yeah,
it's like Nando's in the UK, but Tim Hortons.
Right.
All right. We got one more from Natural in the Discord section. Remember, guys, if you guys have viewer questions, feel free to leave them in chat.
Let us know.
Do you have a streamer or content creator style that helps you think about how you view your channel?
Ooh, another good question.
All right, I'm gonna get mine out of the way before give you a little extra time to think about it.
Yeah, go for it.
I already knew my answer on this one. Dr. Lupo. I also love very dry and sarcastic humor, though, too. Which is why I love that man to death. But the overall presentation and just the good things that man does is just
That's true.
gives me something to reach for.
Gosh, I don't know.
Josh, you're gonna hit me in the fucking feels, dude. Can't do that to me. Feelings, I don't understand them. But thank you. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I think a lot of it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, if there's one, okay. I don't know if it's one I try to emulate necessarily, but one I look up to, it would be Shady again. Still,
Oh, yes, Shady.
even to this day. Yeah. But yeah, that's a pretty hard one. I don't watch a lot of. I only really watch people in the directory, in the Pokemon directory, to be honest, or friends who are outside of it.
Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of big streams at all.
Right.
Just like music, more into the indie stuff, so to speak.
That's like I usually stick around the people we've become friends with.
Yeah.
Newer creators in our
I
directories.
just don't have a lot of time either. That's the
Huh.
big thing. Okay, here's an interesting one maybe. They're more YouTube side, but they do stream on Twitch. Maybe you've heard the name Devin Nash.
That makes me think of Kevin Nash, but makes me think of wrestling.
No, no
relation.
I'm
Okay,
sure.
but
he does a lot of like explaining Twitch or YouTube thing. I don't know.
That kind of reminds me of a guy named Wild for Games.
Maybe. I don't know them.
Yeah, it does a lot of Twitch advice kind of things.
Yeah,
like hardware and new Twitch features, all that.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Okay, it's not so much Twitch advice like do this to get famous kind of stuff. It's more like explaining the ins and outs of the entire streaming industry, which I think is interesting.
Ooh,
it's
that sounds really
right.
You'll have to send me the link later, man.
I can do that.
I will definitely check that out.
Yeah, that's stuff he does. He's like a CEO in esports, and
Oh.
yeah, he knows a lot about the behind the scenes stuff when it comes to the industry as a whole, not just how to be a streamer.
Right.
So I find that interesting.
Oh, dude, that sounds incredibly interesting.
Yeah.
Who knows? You might learn a thing or two.
Right. So, but his presentation where he kind of lays things out and it knows all the numbers, that's something I don't do, but I think is incredible.
Right. And it's also good to always have that kind of knowledge, too.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, so we got another one here. If you could be placed at the start of any anime, which would it be and why? Death Note.
Death Note for you? Yeah.
More specifically, to be a few steps ahead of Light when the Death Note actually hits the ground.
That's what I'm gonna. For you, I will have to rewatch it.
Yeah.
I've seen, or not rewatch, but actually finish. I've seen like the first 3 episodes.
Oh, dude.
That's it. So.
Anybody that knows me saw Death Note coming from a mile away.
Agreed, Julie.
But also DBZ would be cool too for that question.
Okay. You know, I don't watch a lot of anime. This it does come up a lot. I have pretty simple taste, and I've only seen some of the more popular ones.
Right.
Or things that are like on Adult Swim. But what was and I would probably do terribly in this universe, but SAO.
Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's the one that's captivated me the most, I think. I just love the world. Again, I'd probably perish in an instant, but it would be pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Actually, Sword Art Online is where I got the name for that black guitar you see right there. The one in the front. For those wondering, it's named Asuna, by the way. And it is a Schecter Riot 6 guitar. But,
yeah, I mean, some of the later seasons get weird, but I think about the first season mostly.
All right. So let me make sure I covered everything that's in.
You haven't seen it either, Neo. Okay. Death Note watch party.
Right. I mean, I'd do it. I'd even keep my mouth shut so I don't spoil things. Because I haven't rewatched Death Note in a while. Like, UG Online was good.
Yeah, Gun Gale wasn't so bad, but it gets out there as it goes on. I do agree with that though. First season best.
Oh yeah, the first one. Just the entire love story they were telling with Kirito and Asuna was just really good.
Right.
Like that.
I'm a sucker for.
I don't get hit in the feels much when I watch things. I was a happy, distraught mess at the end when they finally got their
got
romance.
It's the only, I think, at least, maybe not the only one, but one that literally gets me every time. Jurassic Bark. It's the name of the episode in Futurama. If you've seen it, you know what happens, but yeah, someone who's always cared about pets. That is one episode that gets me every single time.
Right. And then one thing that I'm surprised hit me in the feels when I actually watched it, because fun fact, I actually watched Dragon Ball after Dragon Ball Z.
Interesting.
And we all know
Actually,
Krillin gets his ass kicked a lot in DBZ.
To be fair, I might have too as well.
Yeah. We all know Krillin gets beat up a lot. But when you watch Dragon Ball, I think it's like in the middle of the series somewhere. It's the first of the world tournaments in Dragon Ball, where King Piccolo ends up killing Krillin.
Yep.
Feels right there, man. Oh, that was hard.
Maybe a hot take. I think Krillin's the best character in DBZ.
Krillin's cool.
Because not because he's my favorite, but because he's literally like the strongest human on the earth.
Yeah.
He holds his own against these super powered Super Saiyan alien beings. I mean, he dies a couple times, but for the most part, he holds his own better than anyone and always gets the short end of the stick.
Right.
Poor Krillin.
Right. Because I'm a huge Vegeta mark myself. Like, love me some Vegeta.
Fair enough.
But, let's see.
Yeah, I just think he's, like, super underappreciated at the very least.
Right. I did see some cool view questions up here within chat. We already covered those ones. We already
saw
covered
2 episodes of DBZ, so
yes.
half a fight.
Right. Half of a fight. Oh, Neo asked this a little while ago while we were doing the list of questions I already had. Why did you start shiny hunting?
Ooh, okay. That one I'm not really sure of. I think, like, I basically hit a point where I didn't know what to do. Still wanted to play Pokemon. So the first time I really tried was, like, Black White 2 breeding. Again, I didn't get super into it until, like, more XY and Oris. But yeah, basically, I think that's the reason I got into competitive at first, too. I didn't want to stop playing Pokemon, but wanted to, what else was there to do, you know what I mean? And then once I did it, I don't know. Even before, because I did a fair amount of shiny hunting without watching streams or interacting with any sort of online community, just on my own. But yeah, I don't know. I just fell in love with the little mini adrenaline rush of alternate colors.
Right. Mine was kind of similar in that respect. I didn't really care about shiny hunting at all, because I was more like the playthroughs. Let's go, or not Let's Go. What the hell am I talking about? Playthroughs, Nuzlocke. That's what I was trying to get to, and various styles of playthrough. And if shiny happened, cool, awesome. If not, oh well, not a big deal. Then, once I started getting more heavily into Twitch, like the 2016 range, or like late 15, early 16, I started watching like A Drive and all that.
Yeah.
And they actually made shiny hunting look fun. So,
yeah, that is part of it too.
My first ever shiny hunt on Twitch that I personally did, this is also when I started shiny hunting in general, was for I think it was a Fracture in Friend Safari.
Nice choice.
We did not get the Fracture, however, we did get who is now a Noivern, Earwax the Noibat.
Nice.
And he is currently in Sword and Shield.
Oh, yeah, I haven't transferred anything up.
Got into shiny hunting watching Jick. Oh.
That's
adorbs. Adorable.
There were plenty more.
Alright. Shiny, because I wanted to find out what a shiny actually was. Right.
Also fair.
I also
a test of your patience, too.
Oh, yes. I've become more patient since doing shiny hunting.
Yeah.
Like, because like those that know me real IRL, I'm not the most patient person, but I can be extremely patient too. So it's just like, ugh, man. Alright. So, Larvy tried to convince me for 2 years. Haha, Larvy. Such a good guy.
True.
Also, I had one off the top of the head about Eon, but I forgot what it was, so. Alright. Oh! But watching Jick made you interested in trying. Right.
Okay.
That's right
fair.
on, right on. Yeah. And then even though, yeah, I don't really do shiny hunting anymore, and now I'm doing more solo runs and stuff, like, if I find myself in the mood to shiny hunt, I'll do it.
Hey,
Like, there's times where, like, all I want to do is shiny hunt, and then I don't care anymore after, like, a week or two.
yeah, and you shouldn't force it. Like,
Yeah.
Whether for you streaming it or even anyone listening,
Right.
Like, you shouldn't.
However-
because then you'll grow to resent it.
Yeah, right. However, shiny hunting is my favorite on-flight activity.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah.
That's actually
mean-
how we got Lucifer the Giratina.
Nope. You know what's funny? I don't
Mhm.
think I've ever shiny hunted on a flight, but I haven't taken one in ages. So.
Yeah, because I got Lucifer the shiny Giratina on my way back from TwitchCon 2018.
Right.
It was on my flight back from Vegas to Milwaukee, so. By the way, Las Vegas Airport, lit. Absolutely amazing establishment.
I mean, I could see that considering,
There are slot
It's-
machines everywhere.
yeah, right. I mean, it's Las
And-
Vegas.
and
If
some
anywhere
pretty
near
good
the
food
strip, I
choices,
could
too.
see that.
Because if you want to if you're ever doing layovers, Vegas is the place to do it.
Yeah, I can't
Like,
imagine. Yeah.
It's easy to figure out. Plus, there's good food choices. And if you want to try to make a little money, I was a donator of $50 that day. But
In general, it's just
Oh,
one
yeah.
of the if you get to go to like the main strip, right? It's just
Yeah.
one of those sights to be seen.
yeah,
no
which
matter what.
leads into the next question I'm gonna have. Worst flight experience.
Okay. I've only really taken a handful. Most of them were pretty short trips up and down the East Coast. So none of those were unbearable. I'd say the worst one was 16, 17 hours from Detroit to Japan.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Firstly,
yeah.
ew, Detroit. That's being a Wisco native though. You can't blame me
It
for
was a
that one.
connector. Yeah, it was a connecting flight.
Yeah. But going to Japan must have been fucking cool.
Well, so that was we stopped there. It was a trip to China.
Ah. Ooh.
Um,
that had
I was
to be
there
cool.
for like 3.5 weeks. Almost yeah. I missed the first 2 weeks of school
Oh, that's kind of dope.
to go. Yeah.
But still,
I was
going
like
to China must have been a really cool
13.
experience.
Oh, it was incredible. Yeah, I was 13. So, I wish I was maybe a little older to take it in more, but
Right.
yeah, it was incredible. It was incredible.
Like,
I still have like, speaking of missing school, I had to make a whole report to make up for my missed work. I think I still have that somewhere. Yeah, I've got to walk on the Great Wall of China.
oh, dude, that's cool.
Something not many people yet, right? Like, all through a contest, by the way.
Oh, dude, that's cool.
No way we could have ever afforded such a thing. So
Right.
all 100%.
Right.
Instead of shiny luck, it's China luck.
China luck?
uh,
Yes.
But yeah, that was probably the worst one. Just because it was long.
Right,
I
I
didn't
can-
feel
I can
comfortable
as-
sleeping.
Right.
We hit thunderstorms as we approached. So
Yeah, like, had the Rona not ruined everything, I was supposed to go to the UK back in May, but
right.
so that probably would have taken the title. But I know I told you the story right as I got to the hotel for it, because you were also the last person I kind of
Oh, right.
chatted with before the TwitchCon 2018.
Yeah.
My flight from Milwaukee to Phoenix, perfectly fine. Because then it was just we're gonna stop here, gas up.
Right,
People
pretty
got
standard.
off in Phoenix, and I was supposed to go to Burbank on the same flight, and then from Burbank to San Jose. So we take off from Phoenix. I also had to make a mad dash to an electronics vendor. Because my next set of boarding passes was on my phone, which had just died.
Oh.
And
that would scare me.
Charger port on my phone's kind of fucked. So it doesn't hold a charge normally when it's on an actual charger. I have to hold it in a funky way to make sure it charges.
Right.
So we're now like flying over like desert area of California, like no man's land essentially. I'm like, oh great. If we fall out of the sky here, we're all doomed.
Yes.
So pilot's all like, hey, Burbank's dealing with a lot of weather issues right now. We're gonna take a little detour over to Vegas. We're gonna fuel up, and we should be good to go to go to Burbank from there. We were not good to go to Burbank from there. The guy in Vegas gets on the flight attendant phone thing. Hey guys, welcome to Vegas. I'm pretty sure this is not the way you wanted to be here. Also, by the way, this flight's canceled.
Oh,
Hundreds of collective. Big booze in chat. Big booze. Anyway, and then they sent us from this gate over here. This is also how I learned Vegas Airport pretty well. And then there's to another gate all the way on the other side. Do I finally get to the lady and be like, hey, you've heard the story probably like 20 times by now. They had got me on the... They had me as a maybe on the first flight out, but definite on the second flight straight to San Jose from there. I ended up getting on the first one. But, oh man, I feel bad for my buddy Josh.
Oh, did they not make it?
No. He happened to be the one that texted me when I landed in Vegas. Oh. He's also the one who got my full-on angry rant.
Yeah, I would imagine. Ooh. I would imagine. After that.
And then it was smooth the rest of the way. Like, oh man. I would still do TwitchCon 18 again, though. Like, that was a good time. So, yes, my extreme ranting is awesome, I guess.
Oh boy.
Alright.
Yeah, I don't know. That would be maybe in 2021, right?
Oh yeah, I do plan on going in 2021. So.
We'll see. I don't know.
Alright. So I got 2 wrap-up questions here for you.
Gotcha.
What would you say to someone... Oh, wait, hold on. We got one last viewer in here. Will you ever try to play more games other than Pokemon more often?
Probably... I mean, to say more often, good. It is a good one. You know? To say more often, I don't know. That's probably not... If I were to say yes, it probably wouldn't be true. Because that's what I love the most. I think what I would like to do is try to play more side games and spin-off things to Pokemon. But yeah, maybe one day, like, I'm constantly looking at games with interaction, like to play with the society. I've been looking a lot into those recently. I mean, to be honest, I looked through a bunch of the free games I got through Prime.
Right.
And some of them could have been fun to play, I will say that. So I wouldn't put it off, but like, so will I try? Yes, I'd be willing more often. I don't know about that, though.
Right. Like, speaking of trying new games, my buddy Sean actually showed me this thing. You're familiar with Marbles on Stream, right?
Yeah.
They have a thing called Stream Racer now, which is essentially the same thing, but with like little Hot Wheels cars.
Yeah.
Dude,
I saw that.
It's so cool.
Yeah, the dev posted on Reddit. I saw that.
Oh my god. Yeah. I actually don't get down on Reddit. It's...
check out... I mean, I was about to say check out the Twitch subreddit, but most of it is not.
Not good stuff, huh?
Yeah. But there's the occasional gem. Like, that's where I found that. So.
Right. Like, because I seen Sean play it, and it was so much fun.
Yeah, it looked really neat. Yeah, that kind of stuff would be fun.
Right.
I don't know. I guess I'm just more into things like creating events around Pokemon for the time being, like the Wii Balance Board stuff. But I'm not opposed to that.
And speaking of Wii Balance Board stuff, when are you doing that on a little quick plug?
Yeah, 2. We're going to try to get ready for 2 Eastern EST.
All right. Which, for those wondering, that's 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
There we go.
11
I still have no
Pacific,
idea what we're hunting.
And 7 p.m. British Time.
Ooh. I didn't know any of those conversions.
Yeah, with having been in a LDR with a British person,
Right.
I kind of figured that out
Good
quick.
point. Gotta know the BST.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like the GMT/BST, whatever the fuck
whatever
they
it is
call it.
at the time.
It's like when it's not daylight savings time, it's GMT, but when it's daylight savings time, it's BST.
Yeah. At least here it's just DT to EST.
Yeah. It's
I
like-
always say EST. I never change.
Yeah, I do the same thing too. But all right, so I got our last 2 questions here for you. And Neo, thanks for the follow, buddy. To someone that is unfamiliar with the Twitch platform, what would you tell someone when describing your content?
Ooh. Okay. Ooh. Describing mine or
Like,
Twitch in general.
If someone asked you about what you do on Twitch that is not familiar with it,
Right.
what would you tell them you do?
I've never really been in the position of having to describe it, so I think my go-to would probably I'd probably attempt to play it like a I don't know, probably a radio program or a podcast.
Right.
Is how I would explain it, because that's what I kind of see it as, or at least maybe that's not what I see it as, but the whole radio aspect interests me, as I mentioned before.
Right.
So that's probably what I would do. I'd probably just describe it as playing a game with I would incorporate the gaming, of course, but like
Right.
playing a game. There's so much more that goes into it. Of course, keeping up with the chat, not so much anymore, but DJing, quote unquote, for music.
Yeah, like there's a lot involved with this.
Yeah, there was a lot involved in it. So I would kind of paint it in that, or put it in that light. Because at this point, most people know what podcasts are, even if it's a live
Like
version. And it's a little bit
podcasts are
different.
kind of very commonplace. now.
That or you just say you're doing YouTube stuff. But
Yeah.
I would.
I look at it. I usually call it YouTube, but live.
Yeah, that's simple enough, right? At this point, most people would understand that.
On topic, but yet not related. Favorite podcast?
Gosh, I don't really listen to any. I would like to listen to more if anyone,
Right.
to you or anyone else has suggestions.
Right.
I do get a couple from in stream sometimes.
Yeah, there's
The only one I've ever really listened to was Dan Harmon's,
Mhm.
but that was mainly just to hear their D&D bits. The rest of
Right.
it was out there.
Yeah, because the one music one that I liked for a while was the one called Full Frontal, which was Alex and Jack from All Time Low, just talking music stuff.
Gotcha.
Um,
I'm sure those would be super interesting. I don't
Yeah.
really listen to any.
The one that I listen to mostly for wrestling, and you even get music bits on it too, and actors and all that, is Talk
Yeah,
is
I'm
Jericho with Chris Jericho.
Ah, okay.
That's actually regarded as like probably the biggest wrestling-based podcast there is. But
Interesting.
as we know, Chris Jericho's in a band named Fozzy, so
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
he talks like with other musicians. Like he had, because fun fact, this is actually how we found out about Avenged Sevenfold's surprise drop of the stage album.
Oh, through there? That's
Yes.
pretty cool.
They went through all the entire details of how they set up the surprise drop of the stage, how they had Chris Jericho throw a fake album title out to throw a diversion. Oh yes, the super effective from Pokemon Cast.
Oh yeah, I've
I've
listened
been
to
wanting to
those.
check that out.
Another one I'm totally blanking on the name of, but Joey Pokegame
Oh, Pokemon.
he has one too that
Right.
I've listened to a couple times.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
the
know
super effect- I've
Shofu
listened
also
to
does
super
have
effective
like
ones.
the Japan time one with like
Wait, who
Shofu, Roger Space. They all do
Oh.
Japan time.
Okay, no, I've never. heard
And
of
one that, for gaming specifically, is one I came across recently called the May Contain Action Podcast with Action Jackson and I am Trevor May.
it. Okay, I mean I know the names, but I don't really know them.
Oh, right on.
Sad
Actually,
Boys. What's that, Neo?
Right.
Sad Boys.
Also a great podcast, yes. But yeah, like,
Okay.
because I first found out about, well, Trevor May is also a pitcher for the Minnesota Twins. But I only knew him from gaming with, like, Lupo and Tapman Ninja.
Oh wait a minute. Wasn't that guy at the Ninja Roast?
Yes, he was at the, it was the
Alright.
Tim the Tapman roast.
Oh, whatever.
But
Whoever's
Ninja was
roast
there.
It was, I
It
don't
was
know. I saw
Ninja,
some people-
Action Jackson, Trevor May,
Yeah. Okay.
Dr.
okay.
Lupo.
Yeah. I didn't watch it, but that's where I know the name from. Okay. okay.
Yes. So Trevor May and Action Jackson have the May Contain Action podcast. Like, they've had Ninja on there, Dr. Lupo, talked things gaming, baseball, whole bunch.
Gotcha.
And one of my favorites, this is going to sound really, like, cheesy, not just because I was on it recently and the guy that runs it is a good friend of mine, but the Straight Up podcast by Straight Up Sean.
Here you go.
Like, that was so fun to do. Like, and even this was incredibly a good time. Like, we need to do this again.
Yeah, I'd be down.
Totally. But we have our last question. Not only did I already have it on my list, but Josh asked it as well. Advice for aspiring creators.
God.
Especially ones that are on the affiliate grind right now to go to what Josh
I
was
figured
saying.
more specifically Twitch. I couldn't give you any good insight outside of that. I don't know anything about YouTube or all of that. Even Twitch in general. I don't know.
So, what would you tell someone starting out on Twitch?
First thing is, okay, well, the obvious is get over the going live anxiety, because like my example specifically is, you know, I spent 2 years. I did one test stream. It went well enough, but I kind of just psyched myself out, and then it took me 2 years to do it again. So don't do that.
Yeah, definitely don't do that.
Number one, don't do that. But no, if you're already on the affiliate grind, you already don't need that advice. One thing I think is focus on just practicing versus like trying to be fancy with graphics and stuff, because even the things I made that, like, you should focus on that, right? Don't get me wrong. You should care about your
presentation and all that.
Right, there we go, presentation. But especially in the early days, it's more about getting comfortable.
Right.
I think, at least.
Like, for me in the early days, it was making sure like I was good and comfortable in doing it, and at least making sure my audio was good.
Yeah, that was the big one I was just gonna say.
Audio, you can
focus on
have the
audio stuff.
sexiest looking stream of all time, but if your audio's trash, they out.
True, it's true. That's really good advice, honestly.
Or you can have like a super basic setup, like
Yeah,
it could
doesn't have
just
to
be
fancy.
like you and the game, and you don't have a cam frame or anything. But as long as your audio good,
Yeah, that's very important. That's when you see a lot. I've seen a lot brought up as well. Is like that's the number one thing that makes someone leave. Is just a terrible audio.
yeah.
What are some other good ones? I think the comparison is a thief of joy thing applies here too.
Yeah.
It's easy for some and harder for others. I don't know. I can't speak to that since I wasn't. I don't know. I don't. This sounds bad. Like it didn't. It wasn't difficult for me, whatever the reason was. But I do think that, yeah, comparing yourself to others and not trying to better your own stream is something that'll just hurt you in the long run, no matter what.
And one more thing I'm going to add to that before we wrap it up here. Don't get consumed by numbers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
that's the comparison, right.
We'll get to that in a second, but because I'm going to take you a little bit on my streamer journey, not like anything too massive, okay?
Yeah, let's hear
I
it.
started 2016 right as original Sun and Moon was just dropping. I had gotten a massive raid on December the 30th of 2016. I was completely not ready for.
Yeah.
That was the infamous A-Drive raid. Unfortunately, due to the whole DMCA wave that happened on Twitch recently, I had to purge all my clips.
Right.
But... And then I couldn't keep that up because I was like, oh god, what if it happens again? Like, oh, how am I supposed to handle all these new people? Like, number... And then... So my 2017 was just bad. We don't talk about 2017 from a streamer perspective on this channel. Horribly inconsistent. It wasn't good. For those that stuck around for that time, mad respect. But 2018 comes around. I was just about to go visit my friends in Texas. where Mad Biker Max lit this is end of 17 into 2018 with Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon.
Yep.
That man lit a fire under my ass to get serious about it, because at my follow count at the time, people were surprised I didn't have affiliate yet because of the horribly inconsistent 2017.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it.
Much love. Anyway, once I came back from visiting those Texas friends, week later, affiliate, and then it was off to the race.
Yep.
But don't get yourself wrapped up in numbers, because the hardest thing I had, because when they first announced the affiliate feature, I consumed myself with getting to a number.
Yeah, and
then you see the blinder vision here. You're not looking at anything but getting that number up, and it's just bringing everything else down.
Yeah.
So, my biggest thing, do not get caught up in the numbers. Just do it.
Which is easier said than done, because as I mentioned before, we're all human, right?
Obviously, you know, the stage fright thing as well. It's like once you get past that stage fright, just rock it. Do not worry about the numbers that you're getting. The good things will come. Just keep on keeping on, you know what I'm saying? And also, consistency.
Yeah, which is one thing I was pretty bad at for the first few months as well.
Yeah, I was pretty bad at it too.
For a while.
Like, there was a time where I was like, maybe once or twice a week.
Yeah.
Then the horribly inconsistent 2017. But once I settled on this like 4-day-a-week schedule that we're doing.
Yeah, admittedly, yeah, because I usually do 6 or 7, and
yeah, I was doing that for a while, but then it would lead to a lot of burnout for me.
Yeah.
Yes, Gengar, you got picked up in a gift sub bump.
Oh, nice. Yeah, some days I do consider like maybe it should be 6. Maybe I do need to. I don't know. But then I would just spend that, I don't know, tweaking YouTube. I would do something else.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of how I ended up doing it.
Also, Neo. Yes, pineapple on pizza. Yes.
I am not a fan.
Stop.
However, not for the reasons you think I'm not a fan of pineapple on pizza. Pineapple gives me horrible gas.
Okay, yeah, but upsets.
I could clear out a room. We don't want to do that. But that is going to be all the time we have. We had a nice little 2-hour session with our boy Jick here.
Yeah, this is excellent.
Let me know, now you gotta do the whole YouTube-y bit. Let me know in the comments section down below, or if you're in Twitch chat over there, if you want to see this thing again. It was lovely having you, brother.
More than welcome. I'd love to come back anytime. You just let me know.
And if you guys missed the stream with this, obviously because you're seeing us on YouTube right now, we will be doing another one soon. So, chat, start saying hi to YouTube. They love you too. But this was really fun to do. Episode 2, I don't know when it's coming, but the tentative guest right now is our friend Lambo Lotta. So look forward to that. We might have Larvae Games on here coming up soon, and we are doing a special live from my living room edition of Fly and Vibe on August the 23rd with Straight Up Sean, as he will be here live and in living color because we're going to be watching the WWE pay-per-view SummerSlam that day. So he'll be here in my living room, probably like either here or there or something or other. But it'll be really cool. Like, comment, subscribe, slap like now if you want more Fly and Vibe. And for the YouTube people, we must now bid thee adieu. Good day, goodbye, and good night.
Take care.